live stream on YouTube.
Yes, probably that would be great.
Yeah. All right. Sounds great. Welcome everyone to the office hours. I'll just start as builders will keep joining, I guess. So I'm filling in for Kushi. Uh, she's online. She's well. You can see it there. However, there's some um, internet disruption in the that part of the world actually, um, and so her connection may drop. So I'm picking up. So welcome everyone to Office Hours. So what are we doing here? So Office Hours is your chance to um, ask questions to the Cyberwave team, and any type of questions. There's no wrong question, and we are going to either answer live or give you pointers and uh, things like that for link to the documentation kind of thing if it's something that may be helpful or things like that. So before we jump into all of the questions, I just wanted to quickly share with you the plan for today. Um, and basically, this is the uh, let me share my screen actually. Okay. Um, okay. All right. So welcome to Office Hours in Cyberwave. We're on a mission to make the world programmable together with you. So that's the plan for today. Ask any question. I'd be excited to answer. There's me, there's Kushi from the Cyberwave team. We can also pull in our engineers if you have a very specific question, something they worked on. Then we're going to be talking about the latest features, then a sneak peek and a feedback session on the upcoming features if we have time, and then just a quick reminder on the next appointments. All right. So this is the structure. Let's start. Who wants to answer the question? You can either type in the chat or um, I can invite you to talk if you prefer to speak. Yeah. I see people are using a power bank. So is there any question, other things I can help you with? I see there's a bunch of folks online. And I also should be checking our live stream on YouTube. So let me actually do that. So I know people may write on the chat there. So let me actually do that. Yes, Roxanne, you can finally watch without VPN, exactly. um, all right. So I see people typing. So am I doing this right? Am I yeah, you can see my Discord, right? All right, great. Oh, because I'm sharing the screen. Okay, so that's all right. So open the floor for questions. Otherwise, I'll move on to talking about new features that we've been working on. Okay, I'll spend a minute talking about new features. So we've been working a lot on the simulation side. So you can now more reliably use the simulation to grab your video or grab the latest frame of your digital twin and start building your own automation, maybe in Python with the SDK or in C++, um, without worrying about having the real hardware yet, because the simulation is going to return a bunch of stuff. Roxamos, thank you for the feedback on the slides. Yes. Well, this is a very simple slide. We're going to be talking about the new features and then open up the floor to any question. But if you want to start typing questions right now, I'll be excited to answer them. So yeah, this is the type of feature that we really like because um, the simulation has always been there. So how do you access it? Let me actually quickly show you an example. So I'll do like this so the people from YouTube can see this better. Okay. So let's say you are on Cyberwave, you go to the platform, you have a list of um, environments, right? So if you say select one environment, this is what I have with my go-to. But of course, you can add any environment you got from catalog here, and you can pick any robot from our environment, and then you can switch to simulate here. And once you switch to simulate, you can start to see how your uh, automation is going to work. And you can pick whether you want Playground or Mujoko. So Mujoko is an open source simulator. Oh, wait, okay. Mujoko is an open source simulator that allows you to be more precise in the simulation. And so if you're trying out different things, it may be more powerful. And so basically in edit, you set up your scene, and then in simulate, you can try it out. And what's interesting is if you want to see how to do this, you can, this is a trick. We're gonna make this more prominent, but you select your twin here on the left-hand side. It will have the name. You click on the three dots. You click on Python SDK. You have some examples on how to use your Python to move this twin. And so here, um, if you run this, it's going to affect the real world. But if you add the simulation line, it's gonna affect the simulation only. So let me show you what I mean. Yeah, here we go. So basically, if you there's an example of the Python code you can write with Cyberwave, and with this line, I'm saying I want this to affect the simulation. So if you have this on your computer, then you execute this Python script, you will see it here. You will see the dog moving, for example. Okay. All right, let's see if there are questions. Um, 18, do you have support for the Mojoko for Rover? As of now, it shows Mojoko is incompatible. So you can try it. We've been working a lot to support Mojoko also for the Rover, so for the UGV. So you can try. I don't think the kind of wheels will be rotating. So if you're trying to simulate that part, let me know because I'm not sure if that's going to work, but the locomotion should be there. Uh, it's not been very cool using the keyboards to control stuff, Cerrito asks. Any advice on other approaches to collect data for the SO101 without the keyboard? Um, that's a good question. So I'd say you can use your lead. So do you have a leader arm, Cerrito? Sorry if I'm mispronouncing your username. You have a leader arm, like the double setup, or you just have the kind of digital twin and remote lab feature? Uh, Let me know. Ashish is asking, tell about the mentors too. Yes, I will address the mentors as well.
Vittorio, I can take that up. My internet much better now. I'm sitting in my car as I speak.
Okay.
So, are you able to hear me though?
Yes.
Okay, perfect, perfect. So, hi everyone. Sorry, my internet has been very shaky today. All the people living in India can relate with it. But I'll be very quick with the question directly. So, about the mentors, right? So, this is how it goes. We are sharing a registration link with all of you tomorrow, which is going to be with for your projects. So, it can be either solo or team. And once you register your project on that particular link, then every project will be assigned a mentor. So, when I say project, it essentially means either you can participate solo. So whenever you are registering as a solo, that counts as a project and you will be assigned a mentor. If you're participating as a team, then your team will be assigned a mentor. So that is how it works. Next week starting, you will be assigned mentors, and mentors you can set up check-ins with the mentors as well. Of course, you have these office hours. And you can, this is more like a generic way for all of us to ask a lot of questions. Today, there's been some trouble. I've received a lot of DMs from builders that, again, they're facing the same issue as me and some others on the call right now regarding internet and shaky connection because it's been raining a lot here in India. So I think that's why we are seeing people asking for the recording. So nevertheless, we'll also be providing that to all the builders. But starting next week, you can set up check-ins and we can start that as well. Trying to figure out how to use. Okay, so I'll answer the question from Mr. Rocks, and then probably I think Srijito's answer is in response to what Vittorio was asking before, so I'll let them answer it. As to what Mr. Rocks asked, trying to figure out how to use the platform, wondering how to collect data from the leader. Perfect. Actually, this calls us to a very good question, right? Because if you've already started using simulation and if you know how that works, the next step is just to connect your hardware, which essentially is very simple, basic stuff. If you're using an edge device to connect the hardware, then all you have to do is just SSH into the edge device. Follow the documentation as we have mentioned on the SO101 catalog page, which is you SSH, you install the Edge core, which is the CyberWave Edge core. First, you install the CLI, then you install the CyberWave Edge core, and then you select the environment that you want to pair with. And that's it. Once you have done that, you calibrate and you start recording data. Now, of course, this sounds very simple, but if you want to start this up, we have a very detailed tutorial on it on YouTube and also on our documentation. So I think Vittorio is sharing something similar. Yes. You can refer to that and you can start recording your data. To record data, you can actually, whenever you're on the dashboard, you can go to the data tab and you can manage your data sets from there, which is all the recording whenever you do it. So that's exactly how it works. But of course, I think there must be some issues around it. So we are planning to set up some live sessions tomorrow and Monday to help everyone understand more about how you can run your Python SDK, how you can run the environment in the real world. So those sessions are only going to be hands-on demo sessions. And we want everyone to be comfortable with SO101 and UGV. So we are planning to set one up tomorrow for the SO101 and then one on Monday for the UGV. Is the CyberWave MCP server available to builders? Can I use Claude as an MCP agent to call robot actions directly? Yes. The CyberWave MCP server is available. There is also detailed documentation on how you can use the MCP server and how you can make use of all the MCP tools. And you can also use Claude as an MCP agent to call the robot actions directly. Just a quick note on here would be that all the tools that we have mentioned here that you can use to call robot actions directly. If you want custom tools and custom actions, of course, we would love to see your contribution. So, open to talk more about that. I'm not okay. Even I have the same question. Let's see. What's the question? I've not been very cool using keyboard to control stuff. Any advice on other approaches to collect data for the SO11 without the keyboard? Yes, absolutely. So, if you are a core builder, then of course you can use teleoperation and then you can use the leader arm to record data. Basically, the leader arm helps you control the follower arm. But if you are a community builder, then for now you might have to use the keyboard because if you're a community builder, you're basically let's understand this in technical way, right? You're basically using remote operation to connect and control the robots deployed in Milan, Italy, remotely from India. Now, when you're doing that, of course, you need a physical controller to basically set up that remote operation script. Otherwise, there is no sense of controller to record that, right? So that's why the easiest form, believe me, is the keyboard. I'm not sure if I told you if we have other ways as of now.
No, I think okay. So in general, right, you can all what Kush is saying is right. You can use the keyboard, but you can also use the um, SDK to control the your robotic arm. So
Okay,
basically,
one second. I think I'm not able to hear you. Maybe it's just me.
yes, it's probably you, Kush, because I think the connection is a bit shaky, maybe. Okay, so
No, no, it's all good. Yeah.
yeah. So if you use the SDK, um, you can use, uh, for example, you can set a joint. You can see here one or multiple joints, and you can set them at a certain angle or a certain position. Now, when you look at this, it looks super difficult. But actually, what you can do is you can do this in the simulation first and check how it is, and then you can collect the data from there. So, for example, let's say I am here. I'm going to create a new environment to show you, right? So let's say I want to use the SO100. So here, this is the default position. And you can see here that I can change it here, right? So now this is actually this number here. Let me zoom a little bit because I'm sharing the screen. But when you use Cyberwave, it's going to be very big. You're going to be able to read this. This is the name of the joint, and this is the how much. What is the position of this specific joint? So these two numbers do not tell you much, but if you use Cyberwave to visualize, then it's very simple to say, okay, this is how, for example, the robot looks when these numbers are at this position. Does that make sense? And so then, if you click here and you say Python SDK, you can see how to set up a specific joint at a specific angle. And so you can say from the SDK, like, try you put yourself in this position, then wait a little bit, and then put yourself in this other position, then wait a little bit, and that's how you can another way of gathering data. So this is actually very powerful because what you can do is also you can use other types of logic to move the robot. So if you're interested, I can also share with you a repository I did where I use a reinforcement learning model to actually move the robot in this way, using this exact same um, SDK, uh, how can I say, methods, right? I hope I answered your question. I cannot see the web
Because
browser when you alt tab out of Discord. Oh, okay. So on YouTube, I thought that you can also see this, no? Uh, I need to get better at this double streaming, mate. Sorry about that. But I hope I made the case, huh? Yeah. So I can share with you some scripts on how to do URL this way. Yeah, I know we need to get better at YouTube sharing. Uh, okay, so let me. So I'm not sharing my my screen anymore. So now it's the same. Uh, okay, so I'm gonna pick up another question, Kushi, because I'm not sure if your connection is up.
yeah, no, no, no. I mean, however you want it. I'm here. No worries. Go ahead.
All right, sounds great. So the MCP has been replied to. Let us know if you have hiccups using it, but it's very powerful. You can do a lot of stuff. Um, okay, is the Raspberry Pi 3B Plus supported as edge device? You can try, it's officially supported. The only tricky thing is if you don't have enough memory for certain types of situations. For example, let's say you connect it to multiple cameras or you want to execute workflows on the device, for example, some models, then the Raspberry Pi 3 may not be enough. But um, you are able to use the same documentation that you can use for the other types of Raspberry Pi. So let me share it with you. Just 1 second, I'm just picking up the documentation here.
No worries until you're finding that.
All right, it's here. Okay, Raspberry Pi. All right. So this is the question for the Raspberry Pi. Boom.
I think we can take more questions. So, the audience, if you have more questions, you can put them in the chat. If you're interested to come on the stage and speak, we're okay with that as well. So just to also set up more context, right, until you're asking or putting out in the chat, we plan to do one hands-on, very technical demo session tomorrow, um, which is going to be around the SO101 and in general the physical AI agent architecture. How does that work? So I think it will be very beneficial for all the builders. And then we're planning to do one more on Monday. The reason we want to do one tomorrow is weekends here, and a lot of you reached out that we want to start a lot of work in the weekend. So we thought it's extremely beneficial if you get some more context on running a demo application and running a physical AI agent before the weekend, right? Because then you'll have more context around the tech stack, the architecture, how do you run it, how do you run the Python SDK, how do you write code for it. And then of course for more advanced stuff we'll host one more next week. Let's also ask more questions in a sense, right? Like, have you all started setting up your hardware? Is there any issue first with the basics? Like, have you all been able to set up hardware with Cyberwave? Let's start and let's see the comments. So reply yes if you have, and reply no if you haven't, or ask us questions as to what all issues have you faced while setting up your hardware. Okay, I can see several people are typing in the chat.
Yeah, time for Ori Nano Super. Yeah, I mean, you can really use the Raspberry Pi 3 B plus.
Hmm.
It's just it may be a little limiting if you want to do super complex stuff, but to get started and connect even a webcam or an SO100 is going to be great. And if you follow the steps that I linked in the docs, it's a super easy way, and you already download like an image with a lot of stuff you need, like Docker and stuff, so you don't need to wait a lot for
Mm-hmm.
the Raspberry Pi to download.
Okay, so I'm still waiting for answers. Let's see. Let me ask it or rephrase it in a better way. Have you received your hardware first? Second, if you have you set it up with Cyberwave? Are you facing any issues with that? Or third, have you not received your hardware and are you facing any issues with your customs? Because I know that's also a very logistics issue that we're facing with. I'm sorry. Okay, I'll start taking this up. Feel free to block me anytime and
No,
answer.
no worries. It's just
So,
I will need to leave in 5 minutes, just so you know.
yes. That's why I fixed my internet connection immediately.
Great.
Coming out of the car is the best solution. But anyways, okay. Asking for the question is from Nipun. I'm sorry I didn't catch up with the docs and the platform. Does Cyberwave also offer compute? Like if I use a Raspberry Pi and Cyberwave for cloud stuff. Yes, Nipun. So if I think you're talking more only about the compute, we do offer it. You can also create your own GPU clusters using Cyberwave, or you can also use the Cyberwave credits to run it on cloud, or you can also use your edge device with our GPU offering. Everything is in the documentation. Of course, I can share it more with you, but I hope it answers the question. Can I know what is CyberWave's purpose of build this program and what to expect from builders for your company? That's a great question, Manoj. Actually, I think it's pretty much from the basics, right? And we should address it. So, no expectation. Honestly, we do not expect anything from the builders fundamentally. Our intent with this program is to, make developers more curious and more engaged in physical AI, because we are a all-in-one developer stack for physical AI and robotics, and we want to get feedback on what all use cases and what all agents you can build. So our whole intent is just to make sure that more and more developers join this movement, more of them become technically enabled to build physical AI agents and move beyond software and digital AI and actually start doing something, in the physical world. That's how we are running this, and that's why to be very honest, the only requirement or expectation from the builders for this cohort is just collaboration and community. If you keep engaging, if you keep building, that's what we want, and that's what we'll be happy with. I'm done with creating. Okay, Ashish asks, I'm done with creating my UGV twin and also tried it live, all working. Next, I'm going with CV. Yeah, Ashish, very happy that we're able to work it out. I'm thinking if you have an idea, maybe also try running it with the Python SDK. And I think a workflow is also going to be very beneficial for you with the UGV, because we also offer native nodes for different types of data sources, for calling all the different types of models, and to control the movement of the UGV twin with virtual controllers over MQTT commands as well. So we just published some new documentation on workflows today. It's in the overview video. If you can just put out a link, or if not, I'll also put it again in the channel. So I think that also might be, a good way for you to explore with the UGV what else can be done. Will a clear demo given for community builders on remote access, model deployment, and where the inferences will be done. That's a great suggestion. So today, tomorrow, we are doing the demo, right? The demo tomorrow is also very applicable for all the community builders because we are not using any real hardware tomorrow. The demo that we are presenting tomorrow is just around the physical AI agent, how to use the Python SDK and stuff. So I think it will be beneficial. But of course, let's also plan something just for the community builders. Bye, bye, Vito. All the best for the next call. So Vito has to leave us because